time, primero, that we got part of BFAM together. We are not collectively here together. We have the Michael Jordan of the crew, Michael Jordan of the crew, D Lloyd, and I'll explain all that stuff later. My main man, my brother from another mother, literally, Darius Lloyd. And then we got, see, a lot of people think that, rapping is all there is whenever you're putting together music, whenever you're putting together an album. But this album would not be possible at all if it was not for the main man, Big Bro Beats, formerly Double R. What's your name now? Like, what is it now? It was Double R. What is it now?
Man, it's both of them, really.
Okay. What's the other one? Did I get it right?
No, it's Double R and Brojo Beats. It's about the same
Got
thing.
it. Alan is his name. His name is
Go with
Alan.
that.
But yeah, I'm excited, man. How y'all fellas doing? How y'all living?
Man, I'm good. I'm good.
Chilling.
Cool.
Still, healthy as far as I know.
Good deal. Healthy. Everybody feeling good. Everybody in the house good. All that good stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So let's jump into it. And this is a very rare occasion because my brother Darius, he is a man of many few words. And I know you might be thinking like, what, how can you be a man of many words, but a man of few words? Because on the mic, Darius is a man of many words. Off the mic, I will go weeks without talking to my weeks, plural, without talking to him. Because he's, plugged into his world and he's doing his thing. But I wanted to get the guys together. If you all don't know, go to allbarsmatter.com. We have a release date for the album Greatness Over Fame, Volume 1. Now we come out with another album before this called Survey Says that came out in 2017. But first, I want Darius and Al, I want y'all to talk about y'all's connection, because if it wasn't for y'all's connection, then I'm not sure that BFAM is what it is. So either one of y'all can jump in and talk about that.
Go ahead, Al.
Okay, so I think me and Darius first met at my wife calls it Jesus Bible Camp. So that's how it sticks in my mind now. But it was basically an outreach ministry in college where we went to was it Myrtle Beach? Is that right? Yeah, we went to Myrtle Beach and we stayed there for like a good 1 to 2 months, and got into the Word, chopped it up, learned how to be better missionaries, learned how to better decipher and study the Word, and honestly, like, we got real close with a lot of people. But me and Darius kind of kicked it off because we liked a lot of the same music. We had more life experiences that connected, and so we just got close like that.
So when did it happen? When did it come up? When did that conversation come up? It was like, yo, I rap. Oh, for real? I make beats. Like, when did that happen?
When did that happen? Oh snap! I don't think I don't remember the moment that happened. Okay. I do recall the first time we decided to do something together though. And that was maybe 2013 maybe. It was right after Trayvon Martin. And Al, he just sent me this beat and I was listening to it, and I was feeling some type of way. I was at work, supposed to be working, but I just had some receipt paper and I was like, man, bump this. I'm about to start writing. And I wrote a song and let Al hear what I was writing. And I think at that moment it was like, yeah, we're a good combo. Because our thing too was, as far as like the artists that we listen to, Alan Swoop, and the producer that he worked with most was Wit. So we were always like, yo, Swoop and Wit. We're gonna be like Swoop and Wit. And so yeah, when we made that song, I was like, yeah, we're a good combo. So
That's what's up. So the church camp, that happened what year? 2012?
that's 2011.
11?
That was 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, Al didn't tell you though. So he was at Charlotte, UNC Charlotte. I was at UNCG. We got put into a room at random.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was random for us to like be able to be as close as we were. And also with the camp is there was probably a legitimate handful of black dudes. What, maybe 7, 8 out of
If that.
out
Out of
of
like,
but it wasn't a lot of us. So
like 60 people total, maybe.
2 black dudes to get in the same room together, that's very, yeah, we got lucky. Oh, someone froze. Odell, are you frozen?
I think he is.
Oh man, he's stuck in the basement, man. I hope their internet reaching down there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so we live by ourselves. What's up, Al?
Not much, man. Shoot.
I know. Dang. I know we wanted to also touch on our top 5s. I guess we could just jump into it until he comes back in.
Yeah. So, who's your number 5 starting at the bottom?
Oh snap! We're gonna start at the bottom.
At the bottom.
Well, see, it's not in a particular order though. It's just 5 dudes that I can't choose who I like the best.
All right. The rotation.
So I'll start oldest to newest. How about that?
All right.
Yeah. So oldest. Who's the oldest out of them? My 5 right now. I would probably say Biggie. Yeah, Biggie's in there.
Yeah.
Because it's Biggie, man. He was ahead of his time. Like his word scheme, rhyme schemes, his like smooth, laid back style. Dude's tough. Then I would probably say, this is a dark horse. I just added them. It's a group. I just added them. But Camp Lo. Have you heard of Camp Lo?
I think you told me about that one time.
Man, Camp Lo in my top 5 at the moment. They might not stay in there, but they're in there for the moment.
And then they're on my backlog, I'm pretty sure.
Boy, they tough. They real tough. The thing with them is like the way that they rap, it literally sounds like they're speaking a whole different street slang. And it's just cool. And it's like they mix in like some like old 70s lingo and stuff. Like it's just dope the way they rap. Their style is crazy.
Let's check that out.
Oh, y'all were still on the whole time?
Look who joined. Welcome back to the All Bars Matter live stream, Odell.
Man, Spectrum be tripping. Cause I am in. Where's Beloved at? Beloved, Spectrum be tripping. I'm hooked up. I'm plugged into the Ethernet.
Don't tell him he's gonna go fight somebody.
Hey, yeah, that's true. My bad, Beloved. My bad. Don't hurt me, man. Don't hurt me. But anyway, I don't know what y'all are talking about. So catch me up.
Going over top 5.
Oh, who did say it again? I wasn't here. Act like y'all starting over.
Okay, but all right, so I was starting from oldest artist to new artist. Cause Al wanted me to go from my number 5 to 1, and I have no particular order.
Got it.
So my oldest was Biggie. I think it's Biggie. Then I went Camp Lo. I just added in Camp Lo because I've been listening to them crazy lately. You know Camp Lo?
Of course not. You know you put me on to everything.
Oh, Camp Lo, it's a duo. They were out around the same time as Biggie, so yeah. But they got this song called Lucini. I know you've heard Lucini.
Yeah.
Camp Lo. Their whole album, like the way they rap on Lucini, is the whole album. It's just like crazy stylistic, and like their lingo is unique. And so even their rhyme scheme is different. Like I haven't heard anybody use the rhyme scheme that they use. So they're currently in my top 5. They're more so of a dark horse, but they're in there. Then I would have to go.
Is that an Apple Watch you got on?
Yeah.
The album ain't come out yet. Anyway, go ahead.
Then I would have to go Lil Wayne. He was not in my previous top 5. I don't think he was in my previous top 5. But he's in there at the moment again because it's nostalgia. He's the first artist I listened to that made me like really listen to bars. And I picked up on the metaphors and similes. And yeah, he should be in my top 5. Then I would go for the 2 young guns at the moment, Kendrick and J. Cole, because they're just as hip hop as hip hop gets.
Got it. And who'd you have, Al? Did you say yours yet or not?
Nah. So I'm kind of like Darius. I got the rotation going, but always in that rotation is J. Cole and Kendrick, and I guess that's kind of like the basis for my whole list, though, because if you can grab me with a story, then you're probably gonna be on repeat for like the next few months, right? Kendrick and J. Cole always telling the story, right? J. Cole's "Tale of Two Cities," like Kendrick's whole album, "Good Kid, Mad World," like all of that. I listened to this dude called Sylvan LaCue. Darius, I don't know if I sent you him or not, but he's got this album called "Apologies in Advance," right? And the whole basis of the album is basically like a group therapy session. And if you listen to it all the way through, it's not to like throw puns out. It's therapeutic. So yeah, I don't know. I like his flow though, because it's not too aggressive, but at the same time, it's not like lackadaisical, right? See, of course, 3 Stacks is in there all the time, but that's just because of his ability to do wordplay, right? And switch up his cadence and like move things around without you noticing. Jay Givens.
Jay Givens.
Oh yeah.
Jay Givens.
Hey.
Always gonna be a shout out to Jay Givens. In my mind, he kind of like 3 Stacks because his vocabulary, his vocabulary, and the way he can piece things together and like throw things in there, and you not even realize it until like the 3rd or 5th time that you're listening to his verse. Like this morning, I was listening to what is it? Misconceptions 3 on the Lecrae album.
Whew.
And like after John Gibbs came up, and then Jay Givens came in behind him, and I was like, man, like I need him to come out with another album immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like just the skill, man, the skill. But honestly, my always number one, and is personal bias, and I'll admit that all the time. Alan Swoop, right? Always like I don't care what you say, whether you listen to him, whether you don't. He's always gonna be my number one and my go-to. Like I've gotten every album he's put out, and I just like his style. Like I love that he makes music, and I love that he raps on top of his own music, and his ability to tell story and his ability to do wordplay like he does. Like, I can't even remember what song it was. I think it was 2 albums ago where he basically linked like Bliss and Terminal, and
I remember.
it was like you know what I'm talking about. It's like one other word, and he like put it together to where you had to like go back and be like, all right, so you basically just gave me like a triple entendre without making it an entendre, while also tying together like 2 other verses. So like that's my 5, man.
I love it. So we got Camp Low. Never heard of him. Everybody except one of them, Al, I missed that you said that I never heard of. It was the first one. Did you ask Darius if you sent him
Sylvan LaCue?
Sylvan LaCue. I never heard of that. So before I give my top 5, I just want everybody watching, if you're watching this recording, if you're listening, whenever people give those lists, right, there's always biases associated with it, but the bias is usually in the regularity of you listening, because you can't possibly say somebody's in your top 5 if you haven't listened to their discography multiple times. And so there's a bias there because you've listened to it multiple times, or you've listened to it recently, or what have you. So if you're listening and you're like, well, I don't know who that is, or I've never heard of those people or whatnot, like, trust me, the people I've heard of on there, anybody at any time, you can see that they're really, really good at what they do. So real quick, here are mine. And I am a slow listener of music. So if I get on something, Al just mentioned, hey, I've been listening to it for a few months. I listen to something for like a couple years. Like I'm a slow listener of music. So with that, Biggie, I'll put Biggie and Nas there, and I'll talk about why in a second. Alan Swoop, that's my dude, period. Show, Baraka, I'll explain why. And Cassidy. And so I'm going to go real quick, and then we're going to get into the actual BFAM music. But Biggie, biased, but also if you study rap, he was ahead of his time. And the way that he put his words together is the foundation of a lot of the ways people put their stuff together. He didn't start it, but he, with Diddy and Bad Boy, popularized it. So the way he puts his stuff together, the storytelling, the deep storytelling, making thug music, making it kind of cool and suave, like not just bang 'em bang, shoot 'em up, making it like kind of cool and suave. Nas, I only got on Nas because of the Nas and Jay-Z beef. And so it was like, I've never been like a Jay-Z stan. Like, oh, I love Jay. I've never been that dude, but I always liked Jay-Z. And it was like, is Nas better than Jay-Z? So that got me listening to Nas's music over and over again. And Nas is kind of like Cole and kind of like Kendrick in the sense that, or they're like him, or however you want to do it, because you have to have a certain level of intellect to like really appreciate them. Like you have to think at a certain level to really appreciate the stuff that they put out. Swoop, he's just my dude. The way he made me love Christian hip hop when I thought it was whack. Like he made me love it. So it's because of Swoop I started really listening to Lecrae and Andy and all those, because I swore off Christian hip hop, and then Darius let me hear Spring Fling, and I was like, yo, this is my dude. Cassie,
hey, look.
Go ahead.
Guess who put me on Spring Fling?
Al.
Yep.
There it is. So we gotta have Swoop on the interview. But anyway, Cassidy. Well, I'm gonna save Cassidy for last. Show Baraka. I believe the back-to-back best albums ever. Talented 10th and The Narrative. Man, that's all I can. And Show changed his style. Yeah, like it's so hard once you get in you've been doing something for a while. He changed his style and made it like 10 times better. like in the middle of his career. So shout out to him. And then Cassidy. And as we start talking about the BFAM music, the way he rhymes words is really why I fell in love with Cass. Like when you put multiple like lines together and it's just crazy the way he does. He's more of a battle rapper, more of a, you know, a freestyle type of person. Still listening to stuff to this day, and it's not stuff I really should be listening to like that. But I just when I rap, I try to do what Cassidy does. I try to do what Swoop does. I try to do what they do. So that's why they're in my top. So let's talk about BFAM really quick. When all of this came together, and we're gonna talk next week, is gonna be me, Darius, and JK and Al. You're welcome to hop back in too, man. We can hold 6 on this platform. But when Darius, when you're thinking about what we got coming out, Christina, our sister, said no Lupe. Listen, Lupe has the greatest track. Lupe's got the greatest track I've ever heard in my life, Mural. No, I would dare anybody listening or anybody that comes across this to say, hey, Odell, I've got a better track that's better than Lupe's Mural. I ain't heard it yet, and I would love to. But Mural,
it's crazy, man.
It's ridiculous. But
Look,
Sierra
Lupe,
says hi.
Like, I don't put Lupe in my top 5 only because, like, I feel like I've been listening to Lupe so long that I'm like, it's like he don't need to be in rotation because he's always in the playlist somewhere, you know.
Got it.
Like Mural is good, and I love it, but the one I always end up going back to is his track called Wave.
Wave is good too.
Yeah.
You think Wave? Anyway, we talk about that later. But so BFAM, if you all go to allbarsmatter.com, you'll see where I said the greatest collection of lyricists since, and I just kind of leave it out, and you kind of put that together. I think that Darius, my brother, who we're gonna hear from in a second, I think he's one of those guys that, like, when they saw Jordan at Carolina after he hit the shot to win the championship, like the next year and on, they were like, yo, that dude is something different about him. Darius is like, and I don't know who he's like, and maybe Al, you can help me with that, but he's one of you gotta go. If you sign up at allbarsmatter.com, you're going to get access to a video where we're rapping over the Still Dre beat, and it's called Signed Off One Verse. But Darius, I want you to talk a little bit about the album, just your favorite track from what we're going to be releasing, and why people should hop on it.
Oh man, my favorite track, it will probably be Church. Church is probably my favorite track. Just because of how, I don't know, I feel like the discussions we had around the topic prior to writing it, and how it, like, the conversations bled into the track. So it felt very authentic and well thought out. And then to some, it may seem controversial. To others, it may seem like, oh, this is how I was feeling. They can relate to it. So I feel like we can reach a lot of people with that song. And then as far as the beat, Al was on the beat, obviously. Man, that beat is, I just love that beat.
I do so too, much. Man. Thank you.
And the thing about it is he likes to throw in the switch up. And so I be wanting to switch up. I'm glad I got to take advantage of this switch up. There's another song where there's a switch up, and I just knew I was gonna get the switch up, and JK
stole it.
Beat me out.
JK stole it. He sure did, man. He really did.
Church for me is my favorite.
Church. And so Al, you as the person creating the music, like when you're listening to us rap over the music. I just, because you know, when you're making these beats, they're like your kids, they're like your babies. Which one do you like the most? Not necessarily like where our bars are the best, but like which one do you like to listen to with our voices the most?
Oh man. So I got like three right now, right? Um, actually four. Now that I think about it, uh, I think "Take Care" is like still one of my top ones, and I think that's because as far as musically growing, um, that seemed like a turning point for me. Like my style started to mature a little bit, right? Before that, everything was kind of, at least to my ear, was like kind of muddy. I wasn't sure like which way I wanted to go with things, but like "Take Care" seemed to like kind of uh, like start us off in a new direction. Um, I love listening to "Overnight Success" because like just like for the hook alone, man, I'm like I'm gonna turn this on. Like it's so smooth. Um, of course, "Shine," that it just go hard. Like "Shine" goes hard, man. And I think man track in an hour. Um, I remember it too because it was like 11 o'clock at night. Me and my wife were just sitting down watching whatever movie in the living room, and I was like, all right, well, I'm feeling this, so I gotta hop on this computer real quick. And I just sat there, and in like an hour, I was like, done. Let me send this off, see what they think, and that was it. But right now, my most favorite one to listen to would have to be "Broken Skies." Like
Yeah.
just the way it always sits on me, you know. Like it's I don't know. Like right now, I think it's one of the best ones we've done. But
I listen, man. And so for those of you that are listening, you don't know what we're talking about, go to allbarsmatter.com. The album's actually going to be dropped May 26th in 2 volumes. So volume 1 and volume 2 is going to come out on Juneteenth. And so what they're talking about, Al's talking about Broken Skies. I would say this. I went back and I sent Al some of the music to chop up back and forth. And so as I'm going through and I'm listening, and when you mentioned Al, like "Take Care" kind of started, I think all of us kind of leveled up or evolved or whatever, like after that. Like it was like, oh, yo, Survey Says was a good project, good, solid project. And then it's like, the Cookout was like, yo. And then after that, with Reviews, with Broken Skies, with Humility, with March On, it was like, okay, we're going to a different stratosphere. And what y'all are gonna like hear, Greatness Over Fame, is kind of like a compilation, kind of. So it's gonna be all of them together, if you will, but not all, because we still want you to get the other albums. My personal favorite, I would have to say Broken Skies stands out to me because, gosh, it's just, and the way like Sierra singing, Sierra for the first time, she never been in the studio before, like never been in the studio before. And we were like, were you gonna sing it, Darius? Like, who was gonna sing it? Or we were gonna try to ask Beloved to sing it or something? I don't remember. But Sierra came and was like, hey, do this. And she was like, what do you want me to do? And we're like, kind of sing it like this, kind of do it like this. And I think she hit it. And then having that song is so many levels to it. There's so many levels to it. One thing I'll ask before we get out of here is, how do you assess that was good or not? Because music is so subjective. There's so many different ranges you could go, but I'm talking specifically about the BFAM music, the BFAM stuff. How do you assess, like, I got it? And I'll start with Al. How do you know when, okay, because all we do, y'all, for those listening, and if you want Al to do some music for you, he's super sharp with it. I'll send Al like a memo and be like, This is what I want. You think you're blowing up, but the kid's growing up, time passing by, gray hair showing up. Like, I want something like that, Al. That's what I want. And then send it over to Al. Like, what happens in your brain when you're like, okay, yeah, let's do this?
Man, I don't know. I'm always making schmagalies for whatever reason. Because it's making the music is just an expression itself. So when I get direction from someone else, and direction because they want to express themselves, I guess they kind of just pair up. So first thing I do is like I get it, then I pray about it. I'm like, all right, so which way should I go? Like what's going to be the essence of it? Like what are the words actually saying? How does it feel? And then I'll just go through like, all right, do I got a sample here? I got a sample there. Is this something I might have to do like from scratch? And when I find the sound that fits like what you sent me, then I'll go with that and I'll work on it, and then I'll try and fine tune it. And I mean, like I'll send y'all sometimes like 3 or 4 like sample tracks being like, all right, so this is I did 1, I did 2, I did 3. Like which one of y'all feeling better? And then I'll work off of that. And I mean that's really how it goes. It's nothing special. It's just having an ear, I guess.
But it is special. But it is. And D, how do you like when you get? I know how I am when I get like music, but how are you like if let's just say it's not an idea that you sent, like you wrote Broken Sky, like Broken Skies, you wrote it, you were like, Al, this is what I want, but like a track like Take Care or something like that, or even Church, where I was like, this is what I'm thinking, and then give it to Al and he brings it back and you're like, yo, I want that change up part. Like I want that part. When does it kick in for you where it's like, this is what I want?
I don't know, man. It's just I'll think about the idea, what I want to say, like the points I want to get across, and then I just start writing a whole bunch of stuff. So sometimes it's like the very first thing I write is the dopest thing, and then other times I'll type it up on my phone, and then I'm like, nope, that's trash. Start over. It's just I don't know. Like my brain just goes to another level when I decide I want to write something. And it's kind of hard to explain. It just happens.
That's how you know somebody is really good at something, because you'd be like, well, how do you do that? I don't really know. Like I pray about it. God says do this, and I'm just like, yeah, and it's dope. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really like it. Let me rip that up and start over. See, I'm a whole lot more simple than y'all. It's kind of like with me, I'm a binge creative. Like people binge watch shows and all that stuff. If I get something, it's like I'm gonna get done with it in 20 minutes. Like I write my verse, and y'all know this. Like I'll be done, and I'll be like, "Hey y'all, here you go. What you think about this?" And that's just how my mind works. But usually for me, I walk around with a catalog of rhymes, like just a catalog, and I'll just like Overnight Success, where I was like, stay woke, no doze. I was awake like really late, and I was like, man, how come I can't go to sleep, man? It's like I be on that no doze, and I stay woke, and then it was just stay woke, no doze, and then like it'll go off there, and it'll just go on its own tangent. Dreams, that's another track that you all will hear. I was literally dreaming, and I woke up and wrote down a dream that I had. It was an insane dream. It was crazy, and I was like, man, if somebody actually read these dreams, they would think I had a problem. They would think I need counseling. They would think something was wrong with me. And then I was just like, if we wrote down our dreams, I bet we'd all seem a little crazy. And then I was like, yo, that's a song. Like I was like, that's a song. And so I said all that to say, as we're winding this down, for those of you listening, those of you watching, go to allbarsmatter.com. But the biggest thing is that music, like, you should have a soundtrack for your life, like something that's playing all the time. And Darius, he didn't add that point, but I know Darius is always thinking of lyrics. Like, I know that. I just know he'll be at work and he'll be like, yes, I think I'll do that. And Al mentioned it. Music is like an expression of yourself. So I don't know how the beat making works. I don't know if you're sitting there with the drum machine and you're like tap tap. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know that you think about stuff as you go throughout the day, or you hear a beat in a song and you're like, yo, those drums, or in the background, yeah, I like that. So as you all are listening, that's the reason why we're releasing this music now. We're going to talk more about it next week on Freestyle Friday, of like why now and all this stuff. But make sure you're picking the right soundtrack to your life. And if you do your own music, put your own music in the soundtrack. And if you don't got your own music, allbarsmatter.com if you like rap music. And I'll say this, and then y'all can add you can drop the mic on yours. I'll say this. The only reason why you would not like our music, I think, is if A, you don't really like rap music like that. You won't like it. Or B, you hating.
I like those two. I think that's pretty solid. That sounds about right.
Legit.
Cool. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. God bless. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and all that jazz. We'll see you on the next one.